All right, today we're going to dive into a tool that could honestly change the way you do research and learn, period. It's called NotebookLM, it's from Google, and it's basically designed to be your own personal super smart AI assistant. So let's see how this thing actually works.
You know that feeling, right? You're just drowning in a sea of documents, articles, notes, and you're trying to find the key insights. We all want to use AI to help, but there's always that little voice in the back of your head going, what if the AI just makes stuff up? It's a real problem, but it turns out Google has a really clever solution.
And that solution is NotebookLM. Now don't let the name fool you. Yeah, it says notebook, but this is so much more than a simple note-taking app. You should really think of it as a dedicated knowledge platform, one that's built from the ground up to understand and work only with your specific documents.
The whole thing is built on this simple but totally brilliant idea called source-grounded AI. What does that mean? Well, it means when you ask NotebookLM a question, it only looks for the answer in the documents that you gave it. It doesn't go searching the rest of the internet. And because of that, it pretty much eliminates the risk of the AI making things up, what we call hallucinating. And here's the feature that makes it so incredibly trustworthy. Every single answer it gives you comes with a citation. It literally points you to the exact sentence in your original document where it found that piece of information, so you can check its work instantly.
So that's the big idea. But how does it actually work? Let's walk through the super simple three-step process for turning a pile of documents into your own personal knowledge base.
First, you just create a notebook for whatever project you're working on. This just keeps everything nice and organized. Step 2, you upload all your stuff, all your sources, and from there, you just start asking questions. It's a really clean, simple process.
And the range of sources you can throw at this thing is pretty amazing. Of course, it handles all the usual suspects like PDFs and text files, but it also plugs right into your Google Docs and slides. You can even give it a webpage URL, a link to a YouTube video, or an audio file, and it'll just pull all the text right out for you.
Now, it's good to know the limitations, right? Each source you upload has a pretty generous size cap. When you give it a web page, it's smart enough to just grab the text and ignore all the ads and images. And for audio, it's obviously looking for spoken words that it can transcribe and analyze.
Okay, so once your sources are loaded up, you can start playing with the core features. And this is where NotebookLM really transforms from just being a library for your documents into a genuine research partner.
The main way you interact with it is through a simple chat window, but the questions you can ask are incredibly powerful. I mean, imagine asking something like, hey, can you compare the main arguments from these 3 research papers and just getting a perfect, synthesized answer pulled directly from those docs with every single point cited? And in the AI's response, you'll see these little numbers, just like this one right here. That's the citation system. And when you click on it, you're not just taken to the right document. No, you're taken to the exact paragraph it used. It's a level of transparency that's just incredible.
Okay, here's a really important pro tip for you. By default, your chat history isn't saved. So if the AI generates a perfect summary or some amazing insight that you want to keep, you have to hit the pin icon. That saves it as a permanent note right there in your notebook. Don't forget that one.
But it's not all just text. If you're a visual thinker, you're going to love the mind map feature. With one click, NotebookLM will automatically generate this awesome map of all your sources, showing you how all the key ideas and themes connect. It's a fantastic way to see the big picture. And a little tip, make sure you hit Expand All before you download the image so you get the whole thing.
Now, this next part is where NotebookLM goes from being just a research tool to being a full-blown content creation engine. It's a section called the Studio, and it's basically a set of tools that can automatically turn your sources into polished, shareable content. It's wild.
First up is the audio overview, and this is genuinely mind-blowing. It doesn't just read your documents out loud. It creates a 2-person AI podcast about them. You can even tell it to have them debate the main points or do a deep dive on a specific topic. It's like having a custom podcast just about your research, which is perfect for learning when you're on the go.
And then there's the video summary. This feature automatically generates a completely narrated explainer video from your sources. It pulls out key quotes and important visuals to create a whole slideshow. And you can pick from different visual styles, everything from a clean whiteboard look to something more artistic like watercolor or even anime.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This all sounds amazing, but what's the catch? What does it cost? Well, there's a very generous free version, and then there's a more powerful pro plan. Let's break down the differences so you can figure out which one makes sense for you.
So if we look at the pure numbers, you can see the Pro plan is really built for heavy-duty use. The free plan is generous, right? 100 notebooks is a lot, but Pro just blows that away. But the real difference is in the daily limits. Pro gives you 10 times more chat queries and a massive jump in how many of those cool media files you can generate every day.
But the Pro version isn't just about higher limits. You unlock some key professional features. You get way more control over the AI's answers. And this is a big one. You can securely share just the AI's chat results without having to share your private source documents. Plus, you unlock even more content formats, like slide decks and infographics.
So with all these features in different tiers, who is this tool really built for? Who is going to get the most value out of a platform this powerful?
I mean, the uses here are just huge. Think about a student trying to synthesize a whole semester's reading list, or a teacher creating lesson plans from a bunch of different sources. A project manager could ask questions of all project documents at once, and an analyst could pull key insights from dense reports with just one query. It is a massive time saver.
So here's the bottom line. The free version is incredibly powerful, and it's going to be perfect for most students, individuals, or casual researchers. But for professionals, research teams, or really anyone who needs those advanced sharing and content creation tools, the Pro version becomes an absolutely essential upgrade.
You know, all this really brings us to a bigger question. When you have tools like NotebookLM that are grounded in facts, that are verifiable, and that are genuinely creative, isn't AI about to become your single most valuable research assistant? The tech is here, and it's getting better every single day.